Picture yourself navigating through a ferocious tempest. The gale shrieks like a wild creature, tearing at everything in its path with relentless fury. Ice-cold droplets strike your flesh like sharp daggers. Mighty oaks sway and contort, their limbs shattered, their foundations laid bare. All around you, disorder reigns supreme. Every element appears on the verge of destruction. Yet there you remain, standing firm and unmoved, resembling an ancient peak. Your foundation runs so profoundly that no tempest could ever dislodge you. No power, no utterance, no influence can disturb the solid earth supporting you. The turmoil flows around you, never penetrating your core. The hurricane rages on, yet you embody the tranquility at its heart. Consider this question. How would existence feel if such serenity wasn't merely a dream, but a reality you actually experienced? How would it feel to move through harsh judgment, through animosity, through overwhelming demands, and never surrender your true essence? What if every harsh remark, every scornful glance, every effort to destabilize you crumbled because nothing could penetrate your inner sanctuary? This isn't mere wishful thinking. This isn't a special ability reserved for a select group. This isn't theoretical nonsense. This possibility exists, though it requires consciousness and inner exploration. Today, I wish to guide you on a path toward unshakable internal fortitude. A path illuminated by the wisdom of Carl Jung, a brilliant mind who charted the most hidden recesses of human consciousness to discover where genuine strength resides. We'll examine together how to liberate yourself from the unseen chains others employ to manipulate you, and how to construct an identity so firmly established, so thoroughly grounded, that no hurricane can disturb it. Never again. This isn't about maintaining false composure. It's not about becoming numb or detached. This concerns genuine transformation, a profound change that occurs when you cease searching externally and begin reclaiming your internal landscape. A change where your mind transforms into your haven, your stronghold, your sacred space. Before we continue, consider following this channel so you won't miss another milestone on this journey of psychological and spiritual development. Now, let's proceed. Existence is an ongoing interplay between our internal experiences and external circumstances. How frequently have you felt devastated by another person's criticism? A thoughtless remark, a wordless dismissal, a choice made by someone else that left you feeling inadequate. Suddenly you became like a fragile leaf caught in a breeze, scattered, vulnerable, defenseless. However, the reality, the profound and challenging reality, is this. These external influences only possess strength because we granted it to them. Carl Jung, with his remarkable capacity to see through mental deceptions, offered us a teaching we've long abandoned. Authentic liberation, he explained, doesn't emerge from altering the external environment. It springs from comprehending your internal environment. Within your concealed self lie the keys to your freedom. The bonds that tie you to anxiety, to guilt, to seeking approval are created within the unconscious mind. Unless you turn and confront them, you'll remain imprisoned in cycles that were never truly yours from the start. Jung frequently discussed the shadow, those concealed aspects of ourselves we attempt to suppress. Our anxieties, our uncertainties, our vulnerabilities, our fury. We force them downward. We refuse to acknowledge their presence. We act as though they don't exist. Yet they don't disappear. They linger and they murmur. They influence our perception of reality, how we allow others to interact with us, how readily we can be shattered. But this is where transformation begins to occur. The shadow isn't your adversary. Jung encourages us to view these suppressed elements of our being not as dangers, but as guides. Every anxiety, every vulnerability, every unreasonable response isn't a defect. It's a message. It's something buried deeply, requesting to be revealed. Consider this scenario. You enter a darkened space. Initially, everything appears threatening. You cannot see clearly. You become frightened. Then you illuminate the room. What you believed was a terrifying creature in the corner was merely clothing draped over furniture. This parallels what happens when we confront our inner darkness. What previously seemed frightening was never the threat. It was simply misinterpreted. It was a part of you seeking recognition. The shadow contains tremendous power because within your greatest pain lies your greatest strength. A fear once confronted transforms into bravery. An insecurity once comprehended becomes self-assurance. A restrictive belief once removed becomes liberation. So here's the question Jung would encourage you to consider. Which part of myself am I still avoiding? And what if, just imagine, that part wasn't your vulnerability, but your path to freedom? Because when you accept your complete self, not only the positive aspects, but also the negative ones, you become whole, and nothing external can determine your value. Once more, Carl Jung cautioned us that until you bring the unconscious into consciousness, it will control your existence and you will mistake it for destiny. Many of us believe we possess freedom, yet we are marionettes controlled by hidden fears, past traumas, and false personas. But here's encouraging news. Destiny can be rewritten not through one dramatic act, but through small, meaningful moments. Each time you illuminate a space where darkness previously dominated. So how do you start? Here are 3 approaches to creating a life where no person and nothing can disturb you ever again. First approach, become the witness. When someone provokes you, resist reacting immediately. Stop. Breathe deeply. Question yourself, is this truly about them, or is it exposing something within me that I haven't yet acknowledged? Becoming the witness doesn't mean burying your emotions. It means observing them without being overwhelmed by them, like viewing a hurricane from behind protective glass. The wind continues to roar, but it cannot touch you. Practical exercise. When feeling overwhelmed, count slowly to 10. Breathe in for 4 beats. Hold for 4 beats. Breathe out for 6 beats. Picture the situation from outside your physical form. What advice would you offer yourself if you were a peaceful counselor observing this scene develop? Second approach, fortify your inner foundation. Jung taught that strength doesn't originate from the ego. It emerges from harmony with your genuine self. Ask yourself these questions. What principles do I hold dear? What limits will I no longer allow people to violate? Who am I when nobody is observing? When you establish your principles, the world's judgments cease to define you. You become like a mighty tree anchored in solid rock. Storms arrive, floods surge, but you endure. Practical exercise. Document your 5 essential values. Develop a single-page personal declaration. Return to it whenever you feel confused, disturbed, or diminished. Declare, this represents who I am, and I will not betray myself to satisfy others. Third approach, convert negative energy. Every emotion you dread is attempting to assist your growth. Anger signals that a boundary has been violated. Fear reveals an outdated belief you've surpassed. Sorrow calls you to release what no longer benefits your spirit. Don't fight against your suffering. Enter it, embrace it, listen carefully, and then transform it. Convert it into understanding. Practical exercise. Maintain an emotional diary. Whenever something affects you deeply, record what occurred, what emotions arose, and what beliefs it activated. Then reinterpret it. Discover one valuable lesson in the pain. Even harsh criticism can educate. Even loss can liberate you. Even fear can direct you. Jung believed we could transform darkness into illumination, not by avoiding it, but by claiming ownership of it. If this message is stirring something within you, remember to stay connected with this content. This marks only the start of a deeper internal awakening. So I ask you now, which of these 3 approaches resonates most strongly with you? In what area of your life do you still feel unsettled by external forces? Share your thoughts below. Tell me what you're prepared to let go of and what power you're ready to reclaim. If this content moved something in your soul, show your appreciation, share it with others, and help someone else discover this path to psychological liberation. The journey presents challenges, but it remains sacred. Look inward, confront the shadow, and remember, You were never the storm. You were always the mountain standing firm throughout it all.